Hey friends, are you ever in a hurry for something to happen in your life, but you realize God isn't? Well, at Melissa's ordination service about a week and a half ago, Pastor Linda Snyder recalled how Melissa knew she was called to pastoral ministry 20 years before she was finally ordained, and reminded us she did how there's a difference between our sense of time that we measure by clocks and calendars and all that stuff, and God's timing. Now, the Bible even has two different words for time in these two different senses. Well, often I read a daily Bible reflection by Pastor Rick Warren of Purpose Driven Life fame, and yesterday he was dwelling on the same subject, which made me wonder if God might be trying to tell me something, especially given how I can easily get so impatient when things aren't happening as quickly as I want them to be, and God doesn't seem to be in a hurry. And I don't just mean the, are we there yet when you're on a trip, or, is dinner ready yet when you're really hungry? I'm talking about things like when you're waiting for a breakthrough in a situation where you're stuck, or you're waiting to see some fruit on a project you've been working on for a long time, waiting for depression to lift, waiting for a prodigal child to come home. Well, Ecclesiastes chapter 3, King Solomon, the writer, he says that there's a time for everything, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn, a time to dance, and so on. And he ends with this statement in verse 11. He says that God makes everything beautiful in its time. And something that's helpful that Pastor Rick Warren reminded me of is that God's delay is not always his denial. And he challenged me with this question. He said, looking back over your life, can you think of instances where God's delay, which at the time probably felt really frustrating to you, when it was really for your best? I can certainly think of times like that in my life. Can you? I'm also reminded of something one of my teachers once said. He said, when you're waiting for something really important, that at least as important as the thing you're waiting for is the work God wants to do in you while you wait. At least as important as the thing you're waiting for is what God wants to do in you while you wait. And I know Melissa would tell you that God did some really, really important work in her life in those 20 years in between her feeling called to ministry and her ordination. So what might God be wanting to do in your life? What's some way he wants to grow you while you're waiting on his timing? Well, thank you for your time today, friends.